Well, I just see
Okay.
it.
Can she hear you?
So, what we're going to do is a series of things, and first 2 weeks we'll be actually making a lot of things, and then what we're going to do is start working them together. So when you first start looking, it may seem a little crazy, but this is one that has a painting on it, and then it's had a skin put on top of it. But it still has a long way to go. So you can see I've left this part of the skin down, so you can see it's actually like an old-fashioned decal. Okay, so I've started another one. And you can see that this is the photocopy. This is the paper on the back. And I'm going to be able to remove all that paper and then basically glue it down. But there's different ways of painting it and so forth that we'll look at as well. So I'm just going to show you how to do that first. It's super easy to do. So is that not an awesome picture? So you can use soft gel gloss, which is what I asked you to get. You can also use glue. I was just in there too. Acrylic is a very strange material because it's super strong. So although I was just in that yesterday, it has already sealed shut. So if that happens to you, just take a hairdryer to it, heat it up, and you'll get into it. I just opened a new jar because it was faster. So when you're putting this on, if you're super neat about it, it's a good idea.
Is that the gloss gel, Ariel?
It is.
Okay.
I'm just simply painting it across. I don't want too many lines in it. And you're going to do 3 coats at least on this.
You've got to use your memory.
So I put it on, let it dry. It takes a while. If you don't have gloss gel, you can always use gloss medium.
Oh,
You could use matte medium, except it makes it matte, and it sort of takes away the details.
Ariel, I have matte medium and I have regular gel gloss.
Regular gel gloss will work, but I would thin it down with a bit of water. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of streaks.
Okay. Before you had showed me to do it with matte medium.
I'm going to show you that one too.
What is the difference between the two you said?
Okay. Kia took a class with me and we used the matte medium, which gives you an instant transfer, which is really lovely because you don't have to wait. The only thing is it sometimes doesn't work. So it's really frustrating if you're doing a photograph of your grandmother and she comes out without her nose. So with this way, you're not going to lose anything. So it takes longer, but it's pretty well foolproof. So after I do 3 layers with that, I'm just going to show you the rest of it. I then peel the paper off the back. So I just take this and soak it in the water. And then I peel the paper off. I've got one here. I can show you.
Quick question, Ariel. When
Yeah.
did you put the paper? When did you put the paper on the back of the photocopy? Is it all one sheet?
It's just one photocopy. And I just painted it over top.
Oh, I see. So you're removing the paper from the photocopy.
Yeah, so this is a photocopy,
Yes.
piece of paper, and it's already got 3 layers of gel on it.
Got it. Oh, I see. Yes.
What I'm
Well,
gonna
you
do
know.
now is just, I don't have a lot of water here. I'm just throwing it in some water
She's taking the
for a
paper.
minute.
I'm keeping the image. Yeah.
And then what I'll do is show you the other one with the matte gel, or matte medium. So, remember, all these things look white and gooey. You really have to read the bottle before you dig into them, or you'll dig into the wrong one. So this is the matte medium now, and what I'm going to do is take my photocopy. And so I'm just painting the matte medium onto the board here. And since I have a giant photocopy, making it smaller. So I then put the matte medium onto this photocopy. So it's on the board and it is on the photocopy. And you have to have enough that it's going to stick, but not so much that it's going to make a huge mess.
I'll put that there.
So then I put this on here and I take my credit card, which used to be right-handed. There it is. And what I do is, starting in the middle, I pull out. I'm really pressing as hard as I can here. And then I often take a jar and I just rub as hard as I can. If you're working onto a canvas, you have to put a book or something underneath it, or it's too hard on the canvas. Like I say, this method is lovely because it's instant. I honestly don't mind if a little bit comes off, but I find students often lose the part they want most.
What board did you use?
I'm just using up old boards that I have lying around. Isn't that awful?
Illustration board?
No, it's a little, it was for pastels, I think.
Okay.
Could you use
Okay, so
inside the
what I'm doing now is I'm pulling back, and this one's working nicely because it's taking the photocopy right off. Oh, I'm missing a little piece there. Okay, so can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So the photocopy's been transferred onto the board. Because you know I'm never gonna paint that tile pattern. It's not in my abilities to sit there and paint little squares. But I do love the little squares. So you could roll this off gently. And when it's totally dry, you can get a little bit of water and rub it off and it'll come right back to a nice black. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's one way, that's the matte medium. Now I've had this paper soaking. So when I unwrap it, I'm going to be able to take it and the paper will just peel off the back.
So you had 3 coats on that?
Yeah, this one might only have 2.
Okay.
Should have had 3.
That's a long process, right?
I just lay out a bunch of photocopies, put the gel on them, go do something else, come back. You know, it's not like you have to sit and watch them dry.
I mean, the peeling, not
Oh
necessarily.
no, this peels off really fast. You can see how fast this is coming.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a mess though.
Hmm.
If it's nice out this week, I would go outside to take the paper off
Mm-hmm.
because it seems to go right through the house.
And you didn't have it in water that long.
No, just a few minutes. As soon as the paper softens up,
Yeah.
so I'll hold this up and you can see like I've got sort of a decal now
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to be able to glue down. And it's very flexible. So if you wanted to, you could even glue it around a round object or something. Or, you know, you can use your imagination. So if you had a shaped canvas, it could be sort of interesting. The other thing you can do is cut this up. So if you wanted to, you could take stripes and cut it individually too. It cuts really easily. So next week, what I'm going to do is show you like 5 or 6 things you can do with these stencils other than just gluing them down. Because then it's sort of like a craft project if you just glue it down. Okay, next way of putting those down is this one here is also a photograph from the cemetery with lady holding some flowers. So this one's very easy to do too. And the one I sent you the photocopy of is this one here. So on the far right, the whole board was a light green. So this one was a pumice gel, glass bead gel. This was paint, and it worked the worst. Sorry, this one was the paint and worked the worst. This one was matte medium. This is the gloss gel, which works the best. And this one was gesso, which did work okay, except that I rubbed too hard. So I was impatient and I was using like a scouring pad. I was using this. So don't use one of those with a lot of energy.
And was that the gloss or the matte?
That was the gloss gel. So I'm just going to do another one with the gloss gel and show you it. Just so you have the comparison. And I'm going to put a little bit of paint down too, just to make it more interesting. The thing I love about acrylic is it's fun. It's if you don't like what you've done, you can work on top of it.
And that's on the board?
Yeah, another one of these little boards. I think I have 10 of them. And I've been saving them for, I don't know what. So ordinarily I would let that paint dry, but I'm not going to, because you don't want to watch it, but I wanted to show you that you could put a color down. So I'm just taking a clean brush and putting some gloss gel on that. You don't want to contaminate your gels and mediums, and it's really tempting, because you just are going to get a little tiny bit of, just a little tiny bit, and too much gets on there.
Ariel, which glass is this one?
This is the gloss gel.
Just regular glass gel?
Yep, anything will work though.
This is not the soft gel gloss.
It is soft gel gloss, but the other one will work too.
Okay, thank you. Can we work on birch panels, like those thin birch panels?
Are you gonna put gesso down and everything?
Whatever it requires, I'm not sure.
Okay, whenever you're working on a wood panel, you should give it 2 layers of glass gel. Keep hearing that word. And then gesso. The reason for gloss gel is it seals the wood. The reason for the gesso is that gesso has a little bit of tooth that holds on to things.
Okay, thanks.
So again, guess we can use that same. I'm going to put this down again. And I don't have to press quite as hard, but I do have to make certain that it's attached to the board. So I don't want any lumps or areas sticking up. Because what's happening now, I got a little bit of water on there, so I'm trying to avoid touching it, is that the ink from the photocopy is going to adhere to that gel, and it's going to dry. And next day, what I'm going to do is take that off. So that will be for next week. So this will be good because you're going to be able to see same photocopy. This is a transfer that I did that was immediate, required very little effort. This one you're going to have to let dry overnight. And a couple things I wrote in my note here so I would remember to tell you. Acrylic sticks to acrylic. So that if you put 2 acrylic surfaces together, they're gonna stick, which is really, really irritating if you don't want that to happen. So when you're making skins or storing anything, you have to make certain that there's a separation in between. So you can use a garbage bag, you could use release paper, you can put them back to back, as long as there's paper or something in between, but,
When they're dry, you mean?
when they're dry, yep. It's very, very sad. I put paintings together when I've been in a rush. Then you're trying to pull them apart, and then you have to mend them. So, not happy. So that is the transfer thing. What I want to show you now is the skins. And skins are super fun. And I have to move this paint out of the way. So you notice I'm using sheet protectors for these. I haven't put them inside. I just lay them on top and then I stack them. So this was a palette. I'm just hoping you can see that. That
Can
was,
you flip it around because it's upside down for
No,
me anyway?
oh, well, it's not actually.
No, I mean the zoom. Is everybody else okay, or can I do something? Because I'm seeing it back upside down, like. Do you know what I mean? Never mind, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's how it looks. So at the bottom of the screen is the paint. At the top of the screen is Ariel's hands.
Yep, it is reversed.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, unless I work from the other side of the table, which I could.
No, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. No big deal.
I hadn't noticed that, but you do notice I turn around and talk to the computer. My phone is just acting as the camera.
Okay, that's fine, Ariel, it's okay.
I tell you, oof, so difficult, these things.
I
So
know.
this is my palette at the end of a session, and what I did was I just put a layer of gel over top of it. This one isn't like super pretty, but it might be interesting. In this painting, if I thought an area was too bright, I could cut areas and glue it down or use it as sort of a mask. So sometimes those dull things work out in sort of an interesting way, and I just save them like this. This is a really pretty one in its own.
Mm-hmm.
Backside is super ugly, okay?
Mhm.
So that was at the bottom, and then I was painting on top, stirring it up. But this is lovely and would fit in really nicely. It almost is good by itself.
So you put the gel after?
Yeah, just my paint's all dry in the palette, and I just do a layer of gel if it isn't
Oh,
enough. This is an example of a stick. So this is one I peeled off the palette. And this is one I laid down on top of a skin. Those two are stuck.
Hmm.
I might get it off. Oh, maybe. But you can see how easily that sticks.
that's what you were saying before. Acrylic sticks on acrylic.
Oh yeah,
So
it super sticks.
if you wanted to layer skins, would you put a layer of gel or something in between, or would you just put one
I
on top of
I
the
do put a layer of gel in between, and then I use that credit card again to really smooth them together. A brayer will work well too.
other?
Now, these are skins I've made, and I'm just going to show you. So these are stencils. So the polka dotted stencil could be it still has a sheet protector on, so it's a little cloudy. But you see how those polka dots might be sort of interesting over top? This is just a texture piece. And again, these can cut out. They don't have to stay as they are. And it's sort of nice if you have the protector because you can sort of move them around and see where you would like to put them. I have many skins. That's another palette piece that's very nice and transparent. So you can see where it's just the gel. On top of that, it shows through to the color of your painting. And I like the way this sort of comes across his face.
And you use a plastic pellet
Um,
to
I
put your
do.
paint, not styrofoam, right?
yeah, then use the parchment paper in it
Oh, okay.
or sheet protector. I'm going to show you the garbage bag thing too, so that
No, I mean to get the skin,
yeah, you
you
just
paint
need
the painting, you have leftover paint, then you add gel on top?
yep, but just make certain it's on something that's going to lift. You can
Okay.
paint on one of these sheet protectors too. This is another one that's stuck together.
Okay.
Not going to move.
Sorry, Ariel, this is a bit confusing. So when you peel the paint from your palette, then you put them on the transparent sheet. That's how I understood. And then you put the soft gel,
No,
let it dry to make the skin.
no, I'm going to show you because it is confusing. I'm just showing you examples. Oh, there's another one that's stuck together. Oh, it's so sad. It was so pretty. Can you see that? It was a little flower.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's stuck onto that thing. Oh, well, as I said before, store them carefully after you've made them. And another thing to remember, wash out your brushes really, really, really well with soap and water, but do not put that paint down the sink. So I have a bucket right beside the sink that I pour the paint water into. And then I clean my brushes, like after I fill up my water container again, I clean my brush again, and I throw it out again and so forth. And so when it finally goes into the cleaning in the sink, there's no paint left on it, basically. And although I'm super careful, I think, I just had to use the baking soda and vinegar in my sink because it was running really slowly. So careful, careful. And careful with your clothes too. Okay. We'll make a couple of skins. I'm just going to use parchment paper. So I'm pretending this is a palette that I've been working on. But I am being, we were using another color as well. So this is one I've actually painted. So I could cover that right now with the gel. I would wait till it dries. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little scribble into it. And the reason for that is I'll get some transparencies. So if I want to take more out, this is just a wooden pottery tool. The dollar store used to be one of my favorite places to go to look for little things. Since I don't go out anymore, I haven't been to the dollar store. I went to Costco this weekend. We have a new Costco in Ottawa, second largest Costco in Canada,
Wow.
750 parking spots.
They moved, huh?
They did move. And I thought, oh, Sunday afternoon, 4:30, closes at 6. Nobody will be there. Wrong. We had to look for a parking spot at a place that has 750 parking spots. Okay, so this one's sort of a random one, and I don't like it that much. I actually am just, because you'll see it next week. We don't want to have to live with that.
I like it.
Okay, thank you. I can always cut it up too.
I
So-
love those colors together.
I like the colors, but whoops, that helped it. So I have to let this dry, so I'm just gonna put it up there. And I'm going to do one now that I'm gonna think about a little bit more. So this is off a bag of, I don't know if it was onions or something. So I put a little bit of gel with that, really to hold that down. Now I have stencils, but there's all kinds of things you can use. This is $100 off for food. Then you have to buy a whole lot more of them, assuming if they're gonna give it to you. These are just little stir sticks. If you have stencils, they're actually pretty awesome.
So would you put the stencil on there and leave it and then put the gel over it?
I'm going to do a bit of layering, but I can't leave them on there or they would be there for life.
Right,
So,
so not.
no. But I'm really painting with layers. If you wanted to, you could let that gel dry in between and keep working it up so that it's nice and thick. It has to be pretty thick to lift off nicely. Now this at the end will be quite transparent. And this if I don't like it too, I can work more into it after. If you have other materials, such as the glass bead gel, looks really nice. Sheila likes to draw. So I'm just going to show you this. This is sort of interesting. This is the glass bead gel. And this is the pumice gel. It's just a big lump of goo that I let dry. And then because that pumice gel takes drawing materials, I could actually draw into that and I can paint back into there, which I will do.
So you just put the gel on a parchment paper?
Yep, that's the glass bead gel and that's the pumice gel. So if I wanted to paint back in there,
So you let it dry and you just peel it.
yep, so I'm painting this really thin, almost like watercolor. I don't know, can you see that? Yes. So this is just a ballpoint pen now. But you can use pencil, crayon, pencil, ballpoint pen. So hopefully you can see that. The drawing on the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the paint. So you could do multiple layers of this stuff. I was going to work it into, it was a painting of a wave actually, because I thought, show it to here. I thought that looked more like the wave sand thing than what I'd painted.
Sea foam on a beach.
So
What's the one you use pen on?
used what?
What's the one you use a ballpoint pen on?
Pumice gel.
Okay. Is that textured?
No, I use a fine pumice gel. It's really soft. There's
Okay.
also a pastel ground that you could use. You could use watercolor medium, fiber paste. They all lift off. Now I save all those sticks. This is going to take a really long time to dry.
So you're going to peel that off after?
I am.
Oh,
Now this one still isn't dry. What time are we? Okay, I am going to let this dry. And I'm going to show you one more thing. And then you can work. Is it too much all at once? Do you want to do anything first?
no.
Good.
Somebody else can talk too. Okay. I don't know if you can see how beautiful that piece of paper is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Isn't it lovely?
Yes.
so is that just parchment paper?
This is tissue paper
Tissue.
Oh, yeah.
that's been treated. And wait till you see the toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
Right on.
Wow.
Oh,
Look how beautiful that is there.
wow.
Mm.
Now, toilet paper's maybe going to get scarce again, so you better get.
Stock up.
Now, this piece I actually love too. It feels like leather.
Hmm.
That is newsprint without any printing on it. I had the newsprint pads for the kids, so I tried it, and the paint I thought went on there super nice. The tissue paper was just wrapping from a Christmas present. You can see it's still got the poinsettia on it underneath all the paint. The thing is, tissue paper, toilet paper is not permanent, but when you've encased it in the acrylic paint, it's good.
Doesn't it rip?
No, it's, look it. This is
Yeah.
toilet paper.
No, so how do you add gel on it? What'd you do?
I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
So this one I threw a feather in. So that was a piece of tissue and a piece of toilet paper thrown on top. And you can see how they sort of stuck together because of the acrylic. So you have this like really strong stuff now. And because this is, you know, the toilet paper got a little hole in it there, it sort of looks nice with the feather coming out, in my opinion. So to show you how to do that, this is what you needed the garbage bag for. So the garbage bag is great because the paint peels off it so nicely. So what happens if I took gel now and put it over where I've been doing the toilet paper and so forth? That would actually pick that up. Okay, if I cover that whole thing with gel, I can then peel it back.
So that's just paint? You painted that on the garbage bag, or?
Well, it ended up in the garbage bag for me painting the toilet paper.
Oh.
I'm just going to show
Oh, okay,
you how
okay,
I
okay.
do that. I'm going to get a bit of water. I save all these little cups. And again, you can see some of them are stuck with acrylic. If I put them in hot water, I can sometimes get them apart, but it doesn't matter. So this is the tissue paper. I'll put a little bit of it down. We'll put some toilet paper down too. And you want to do this someplace, probably outside. I was going to say someplace where you won't make a mess, but I think it's going to be nice here tomorrow. So I'm putting, you can use any kind of acrylic. It just has to be thin enough that it's going to go through the paper. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker, thinner than cream, sort of milk consistency. And I'm going to pour it on here. Should be a little thicker. So I put a little less. The thing is that you won't believe that this can sort of spread around. So you have to be someplace where acrylic lasts forever. It's very hard to get out. Okay, so I'm just going to move that a little bit so I get a little bit of the paint running. The toilet paper you can't really lift up. But once it's dry, it's like super hard. So you can see I've got a really big pool there that I don't want to hit that red, so I'm just gonna lay that paper in it and hope there's enough there to soak it up. So when you're doing these, you want to be really experimental because you'll be surprised sometimes you get some sort of really interesting effects. Now, I didn't want that piece of paper to be stuck there, so I sort of moved it to the side. And I hate to tell you, I sort of leave this and see how the drying's going. These little pieces that I ripped off too, because their little design pattern could be pretty interesting. Okay, this is pretending. Yeah, you can't see that. Okay, so this is that piece of parchment paper. And so pretending this is my palette. Okay, I'm done for the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm running out of clean things.
Has to be pretty thick, I guess.
Yeah, if the next day when you go to peel it back, if you go, oh, that's not thick enough, it's going to come off and the pieces are going to be too tiny, like too thin.
Mm-hmm.
Just put another layer of gel on top.
Okay.
So you're actually using less paint and more gel. So that's a lot of information. Hopefully that record button worked perfectly. And what time is it? It's 10 to 8. What I'll do is, does anyone have any questions?
I don't think so.
Oh, I do, Ariel.
Yes.
Would glazing liquid work?
No.
Okay.
It will.
Have fun
It will work for when you're finishing your paintings.
Okay.
So it'll be really nice after you've glued those skins together. It'll be really nice for putting things together, you know,
Okay.
glazing across them. It'll be good for that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the glazing liquid is meant to dry slowly.
Right.
So it'll be super frustrating for you.
Okay.
Can you use something else besides parchment paper?
Yeah, the garbage bags.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Just cut those garbage bags into pieces.
Yeah.
Most people have them, and they lift the easiest of anything.
Okay.
Like the parchment paper sort of sticks a bit, and so do the sheet protectors. But those garbage bags are just like,
Okay.
and they're nice and flexible too, so you can get underneath them.
True.
Okay, Kia?
Yes, the toilet papers so far have water and paint on them, right?
Yep, and it dries hard. You
Okay.
can't use it for toilet paper again. It's like, it's,
Are you gonna add something on it after they dry?
I'm going to cut it up, and next week I'll show you how I'm going to put things together.
Okay.
So it's just a whole lot of making things so that you can work on the layers. So I'm going to do some realistic things, and I'll do some abstract things.
So for us, in order to accompany you within the progression of the weeks, you want us to do the same things you did today and
Yes,
move
I
along.
think what I'm going to do is type out a list so you've got it written with the directions.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll also do the record so you can watch it again.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be
that's
great.
very, very lovely. Thank you so much.
Because otherwise, it would have been nice to be working together, but
Oh,
it
yes.
would have made a super mess tonight
Yeah.
if we had all those things going.
Yeah. And you'd have to clean up.
You have to clean up. I've got a separate room on the 3rd floor,
Yeah.
so it's nicer for cleaning up. But when I used to be on the same floor,
Mm,
my
not a
husband
good
used
idea.
to be really upset with little bits of paint here and there and here and there. So now I'm usually clean by the time I leave the 3rd floor, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see, Isabel and Mark. Oh, you have to unmute yourself there.
I think we're slightly, honestly, overwhelmed.
Well, I thought you might be. That's why I wanted to ask you.
I think we might want to try your more traditional art.
Oh,
Is that
Really?
possible? Is that possible to switch?
yes.
No, but no, I think it's really interesting. And I can see at some point I've done this kind of art, but I'm kind of overwhelmed with it at the moment. The whole notion, the mess and the, anyway, so,
Okay, Isabel,
yeah,
just to humor me,
yes,
try taking the photocopy and putting the gel over top.
right,
Okay, that's really straightforward.
yes.
3 layers.
Sorry?
Just do 3 layers of gel. Let me get you a sample.
You go and try and get that and get it off. You'll have to take it to the kid. You'll have to get it in water.
I used to have a sample.
What's that one? Is that gel over there? Gloss gel. There we are.
Okay, so if you take your photocopy, 3 layers of gel,
But they have to dry in between.
they have to dry in between.
Okay.
And then I think you'll find it more doable than all this other stuff.
I hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so just do the photocopies only.
Just try that bit. Yeah.
Just try
Okay.
that and forget all this other stuff because that's actually very manageable.
Right.
Because
I'm not messy.
Okay.
everybody else is pretty experienced with the different materials.
Yeah.
So, and they've been making skins, but this is actually a good entry point if you just stick to the photocopies to begin with.
I hear you. Okay.
Okay.
And the notion is we make skins out of different photocopies.
Yeah. The one I made the copy of, that one with the teapot.
Yes.
I really, really like that photograph.
Right. Can you show us a final product. So I
Yeah.
can see where this is going
I
to.
was looking around for one. I think it's in my storage cupboard.
Oh, well, okay, but
Yeah, give us an
I
idea. Whoop,
will
sorry.
send you some photos.
oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
So give us
that
a
Mark,
night.
Mark
Yeah.
in particular needs to see where this is going.
Yes, yes. Just to see where it's going.
If you could do that, that'd be great.
I think it would be easier. And you know what? It's also much more difficult when you're looking at a screen than when
Yeah,
you
totally. Yeah,
pick
yeah,
up the product and feel it.
yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been doing this now since this started almost. So I'm getting more used to it, but it's still not the same as real life.
On the sheet it says black and white photocopies. Do they have to be black and white?
Yes,
They
because
do, okay.
the colored ink fades out.
Got
And
it.
you need a laser copy, so Staples,
Got it.
Oh, you can go there to photocopy?
you
Mhm.
can,
Oh, yes.
and I
Oh.
hate to tell you, I send my husband, you know why?
Mhm.
Because
Why?
he doesn't know how to use the machine, so they always do it for him. It takes him a few minutes,
Oh.
and I just have it written down what he's supposed to do, and the other person does it.
Perfect. And it's probably cheap too, like 5 cents.
Oh, I got
Will they make the laser copy?
maybe 20 photocopies, like the large ones, for $5-6.
Oh, so that's how you got a large one.
Yep. I told him I wanted the big paper,
Oh.
and honestly, he didn't do a thing. It's like, you know, if you, like, I went to Home Depot to buy a, whatever you call them, water heater.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I couldn't lift it, so
Yeah.
I had to bring it up to my car for me.
Oh, that's good to know.
If I'd been a guy, they wouldn't have helped.
Exactly.
Yeah, black and white.
So you just have to know who to send for which job.
Yes, that's what she said.
True. Okay, so we'll start gel on photocopy then.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going to send you a list. Sheila, are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I figured you would be.
I can just have some fun
Awesome.
because you've given me permission to play.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
We're debating the original picture can be colored, right? And then you make a black and white laser copy of that picture.
what I did was I took my colored photocopy.
Yes.
Sorry,
No.
I did switch it to black and white before I sent my husband to the photocopy place. But you could have a colored photocopy and it will go to black and white if
Of
he
course
only
it will.
prints it on-
I get that, but you need to get the good contrast. So you need to understand color if you're going to be doing that.
That's why I did it. All I did was on my computer, I went to print in black and white
Got
and
it?
just up the contrast.
Oh, okay. Do that. Yeah, okay.
So
So from here to there. So take a picture, send it to my laptop, print it in black and white.
yep. And then I went to Staples, or Vince went to Staples.
But it doesn't have to be in yeah, well, it would be black and white or not.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, no, it was super easy. Oh, the other thing to remember about a photocopy, the ones that you put the gel on, they are what they are. When you take it over and turn it over like I did for that pattern one into the matte gel, it reverses.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
if you have somebody's name, for example,
Yeah,
you turn it
Yeah.
over, you wouldn't be happy.
yeah. Yeah, so
I don't get
avoid
it.
print then, but basically.
Yeah, but if you're using the gel on top, there's no difference.
Oh, okay.
And also the nice people at Staples will do a mirror image for you if you
Oh,
get it
really?
wrong.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you just have to look sad.
That's really nice to know.
Yeah. So that
Um,
if you print it, you know, so that you could read it and you go in and then you say, oh no, I meant to, there's a button. I don't know how to do it, but they could do it for you.
Oh, that's really good to know.
You could choose a traditional image like a forest.
and 3 coats of gel is not that thick, meaning once you get the
Flowers.
paper off, does it become a thick plastic, like, you know what I mean?
It's not that thick. Where's the one I did? It's back to about
Yeah,
the same.
like putting it on top of something.
Yeah, that was a photocopy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you can cut it, right?
yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How long do you soak it for?
Oh, 5 minutes?
Just that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just as long as the paper's soft and it'll peel off. It not long.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start gelling.
Okay. I am, oops, I didn't mean to stop.